once again being inspired by Brian Lyons, and at his suggestion, I'm making a little cooking show. And what I'm cooking today is Goober's shrimp scampi. But that doesn't look like shrimp scampi. That looks like thickly sliced Wright brand bacon, because that's what it is. We're going to fry up some bacon first at a low fry, because the objective is to get the fat out of the bacon, as much fat as we can get out of the bacon. And while we zoom in on this goodness over here, I'm going to tell you about the next little bit of goodness we're going to get into right next door to this frying pan. And if you recall the movie Goodfellas, where Paulie is sitting in his cell with a razor slicing garlic, well, that's what we've done over here. That is exactly what we've done over here. Only I used my sharpest little purple knife, and I've sliced my garlic thin as I could slice it, and then I chopped the slices, getting that garlic as small as I can get it, because we're getting ready to, after we're done with that bacon, we're going to infuse some bacon grease with garlic. Hello. Alright, the bacon is done, and as you can see, we have rendered a decent amount of fat from the bacon. Setting the bacon aside over here, and ooh, what is that next to it? Well, that's butter. That's butter, because see, that's not quite enough. That is not quite enough of the flavorful lipids that we need to prepare our shrimp scampi the way Goober would have it prepared. No, we must add some salted butter, a stick of salted butter, keeping it very, very simple. We have some new additions to the cayenne plate. We just planted an herb garden yesterday, and already we're going to harvest some of the things from the herb garden that will not be going in the grease. No, only the gangsterly prepared garlic will be going into the hot bacon grease, hot butter fusion. All we need for that is some garlic. We want that garlic to start to infuse itself into the lipid ointment that the shrimp will soon be in. Melting it in at low heat. Low heat, I want the goodness of the pork fat as well as the butter to be preserved. I don't want a burnt taste. No call for that in this recipe. No call for it. And as soon as that's melted in and we've gotten it to a decent temperature, the garlic goes in. The garlic goes in. Yes. Yes. The garlic is now bathing in the hot lipids of love. At a very low heat, sauteing at about a medium heat, just below medium actually. We don't want burnt garlic, nor do we want burnt lipids. No burnt lipids. We need our lipids of love to be in good shape for the high heat that is to come. It must be in good shape before we switch into high heat mode, cooking mode, or things just won't be right. Over here on the cayenne pepper plate of love, we have sliced one each lime and one each lemon. That will be used later. And the bacon has now been made into bacon crumbles. All of this about to come into play here very shortly on this cooking channel. Alright, I have now taken the time to get some scissors to trim my herbs instead of a knife. using scissors to trim my herbs, you know, old school, old habits die hard, I guess, from the old school days. And I had fresh herbs, and they were quite delicate, and these are going to go into the noodles after the noodles are done, and I want them to have as much of their original texture as possible just because I say so. Because I say so. Not the purpose of this is to just get those little flavor pockets in the noodles as the shrimp and the bacon is going down in the butter. Everything is smoothie woozy. You've got these little bites of dill and orange mint, thyme thrown in just to liven your life up. You know, it looks like somebody been trimming some. Anyway, once a G, always a G. Meanwhile, your gangster sliced garlic has been over here sauteing in the hot lipids of love, and as you see on the low heat, you got that foam building up. That's the moisture coming out of the garlic into the lipids. It forms some foam, and when you see the foam starting to get onto that golden brown color, it means it's time for the lipids of love to come off the heat and get moved to the side. Okay, noodle water, there's no science to it. Put some water in a pot, salt the water to taste, but always remember, pour in some olive oil. Pour in some olive oil into the water to let that boil into the water, so that when you put your noodles in the boiling water and then you remove them, they won't be sticking together. Olive oil. Olive oil in the water. Oh my gosh! This just keeps getting more and more OG by the second. We went to look for our spaghetti noodles and realized that because we've been cooking this recipe for several nights, getting to various members of our family, we're out of our standard spaghetti noodles. But we've got these, the Columbia brand. You know they got to be good. You know, I mean, even got a little gold medal over there and everything. These got to be good, right? I mean, they got to be. So be sure you trim your herbs with your scissors, and be sure you use Columbia brand pasta in your shrimp scampi. Go south of the border. Take your family south of the border. Live a Netflix adventure in one meal. Columbia brand thin spaghetti. This was actually given to us complimentary by Atlantic Self-Storage. We are one of their customers, and they were giving away food last week or week before, or last, I don't know when it was. Wasn't long ago. Giving away food, and that's where these spaghetti noodles came from a self-storage place, Columbia. Man, those things just, I mean, that's just giving me goosebumps thinking about it. Okay, this is what noodles look like when they're boiling. This is what they look like in 4K. Listen to it on this Rode shotgun mic, picking up all the action from the culinary arts studio of All American Show Productions. And how do you know when your noodles are done? Well, there's the old trick. You can pull one out of the water, throw it up against the wall. If it sticks, they're done. That does not necessarily work. You know how you know when they're done? You taste them. And when they're done, they're done. Personally, I let mine boil for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes, maybe a few minutes longer, till they're nice and flexible. Then I just take them off the boil and leave them in the hot water and continually taste them until they are done. I want them done. I don't want them overdone, but I do want them done. Just boil them for a few minutes. Cut the heat off, let them soak. And after they're right, then you drain the hot water off. Then I'm going to drain the hot water off, rinse with cool water, and then we're going to do some magic. Oh yeah, magic. More magic. Now, as we are taking a moment to allow those noodles to finish cooking in that hot water, I'm going to have to talk for just a few minutes about the main event, okay? And that is this beautiful, beautiful white shrimp that was caught by Captain Goober himself. This is East Coast Florida great white shrimp. It has been headed and deveined. I purchased this shrimp where I purchase all my shrimp at the Alexander and Sons Shrimp Company on North Main Street in Jacksonville, Florida. You've seen me shoot video for them a time or two. This is where the rubber hits the road. Goober caught these shrimp, brought them to the market. I went to the market maintaining proper social distancing. Was able to purchase this white shrimp for a very low price. Now, this is one of the true treasures of the state of Florida. The first Florida crackers were the Calusa Indians. They came here a couple thousand years ago. They introduced net fishing to Florida. They were the first commercial net fishermen, and I say commercial because their currency was shellfish. Their diet was mostly shellfish, their currency was shellfish, so in order to survive and thrive in Calusa society, you had to crack some shells, and thus the Calusa Indians are actually the first Florida crackers. They had to crack things as a way of life every day of their lives. Now, my family's the second wave of crackers came down out of South Carolina, Georgia, came down into Florida, Central Florida, engaged in farming when we weren't fighting the Yankees. And seafood is part of our heritage here in this state. Now, Captain Goober, he is of a Florida cracker family. They came out of the Carolinas, and they came to Florida and became commercial fishermen in the long line of commercial fishermen who have served the people of the state of Florida and around the world for decades. The Japanese pay $28 a pound for this shrimp right here. It is the finest shrimp that can be found anywhere in the world. And Captain Goober goes out on that shrimp boat, the Miss Claudia, every single day. Every single day. A lot of times he stays out for a week. Sometimes he's in the river, sometimes he's in the ocean. But wherever he is, he's there because that's where the shrimp are. And now the shrimp are here. And they're getting ready to go into the final and highly critical stage of preparation to be transformed into shrimp scampi for your visual enjoyment. All right, the noodles have been cooked. The noodles have been cooled. The noodles have been drained. And the bacon crumbles have been added. I'm going to set them to the side as we cook our shrimp. Yay! It's just going to be getting good. That bacon's going to be sucking up some of that water. That flavor's getting all. I'm going to stir it up. Going to stir it up a little bit more. Set it to the side. Set it to the side. Well, I found that I needed some additional hot lipids of love. So I added another half stick of butter to the garlic, butter, bacon grease infusion here. And we are heating that slow. And in just a few minutes, we're going to dump about 50 jumbo East Coast great white shrimps into this amalgamation of lipidry. Yes, it's about to get crazy. All right, we're gonna, now that the butter is melted, we're gonna go ahead and take the heat on up. Taking the heat on up, because we got a pile of shrimp to put in here. A pile of shrimp to put in here. I'm getting her all ready. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a little bit of shrimp. And as you can hear, the grease is becoming receptive. The lipids of love have not attained the great heights of affection that I'd hope they'd be at by now. That's why I'll put a few in there. We're going to go ahead. We're cranking her on up. Cranking her on up. Alright, it's time. It's time. Let's go ahead on and put them all in here. We want them all to get that good, even feel of the lipids of love. We want them all in there together. We want it to be a big love fest. The hot lipids. The hot lipids. Hot lipids. Hot lipids. Hot lipids, baby. Hot lipids. Go ahead. Scampi this on around. Scampi this on around. See, I put it in there a little too early, but considering that this is butter, I don't want that butter getting too hot and too burnt too soon. You'll see what happens when you make this lipid bath go cray. The magic, how the magic is gonna pour out right in front of your eyes. If we were in the 100%, you know, if we were battering and frying these shrimp, we would want that grease to be about 300, 350 degrees, really 350. We want that grease to be really, really hot. But this ain't vegetable oil. This is bacon grease with garlic in it, also butter. And those things will burn it, they'll scorch. So this is what the love looks like as the love is being brought to its proper level of goodness, level of doneness. We'll let some heat build up there for a second. Let the lipids put some loving on that shrimp. The lipids putting loving on my shrimp, putting grease on my lens. Now what you're looking at there is not all butter and bacon grease. The lipids of love are cooking the moisture out of the shrimp, some of the moisture out of the shrimp. You don't want to overcook the shrimp, by no means, but you want the shrimp to be firm going in the Scampi. You really do want it to be firm. You want it to have a good, nice texture. Nice texture, but you do not want it overcooked. And how do you know? How do you know when you got it right? Well, we're watching. They look right. It'll be all pink. There'll be no gray to them whatsoever. All right. And once you get them to that level, to that point, then you can pull one aside and test it. You want it to be cooked just enough. There's nothing to be gained by cooking it past the point when it is actually done. And these are almost done. Getting ready to test one. Getting ready to test one. All right, the shrimp was most certainly done. So I took it off the heat, took it out of the grease, and I'm taking what is left in the pan and I'm reducing it. I'm going to be sure that I get all the moisture out of it, because we're not done here yet. We're not done here yet. Okay, I wasn't able to show you this as it happened because it has to happen very quickly, but the lipids of love, all the moisture was reduced out of it. Lipids of love was poured over the shrimp into the noodles, stirred up. We took our herbs, dumped that over the top of the noodles. We squeezed out our lemon and our lime over the noodles, and we've stirred them up. And it's still warm. Getting ready to put a lid on this and go deliver it to my dad. My dad is suffering from a serious eye infection. He has had a loss of appetite. And if this can't get him to eating, I don't know what will. But we've lived up to Goober's standards. We've got a lot of carbohydrates, got a lot of protein, got a lot of fats. And that's what a body needs. And I threw in a little couple of whoop-de-doos on my own from the garden, the herb garden, just to liven things up. And my dad has no energy and no appetite. So noodles, shrimp, I got the fat, I got the bacon, I got everything that's going to lure a man into just eating too much food, too much carbohydrates. The carbohydrates will then give him fuel to burn, and he will have energy again. And so that's why Captain Goober's shrimp scampi was prepared on this Sunday afternoon, getting ready to go deliver it. I know he's going to enjoy it. He and Nancy are going to enjoy it. So. And now the pot of goodness is placed on the dryer where it can be left, and I can call them from out in the driveway and thus maintain the social distance. I will call them now. Hey, I've got a pot and an envelope sitting out on the dryer right now. I'm gonna maintain my social distance. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got the camera and everything. Alright. Alright, bye. And thus my father will soon be stepping through the door to receive the nutritional goodness that comes from the sea. Captain Goober's shrimp. I'll feed a sick old man. No, I'm maintaining my social distance. I got it over there. I got it over there on the dryer. Big pot of shrimp scampi over noodles.
Oh man.
You bring me, I gotta change pots. Morris.
Well, what?
Bring in the salad, I gotta change it to my pot.
Okay.
So how do I heat it up?
You can
Microwave?
you can microwave it. You can heat it in the oven.
Oh, it's already cooked though, right?
It's already cooked. Everything's cooked.
Shrimp to get too dried out.
Nope, it's good.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot.
You all right?
Tell Lisa I said hello to you.
Okay.
Get together one of these days.
No, you got to put it in one of your pots because I just grabbed it and when I cooked it in and
Okay.
took off with it. Lisa's gonna want that pot back. But yeah, it's noodles, it's shrimp, it's bacon, it's just everything. I mean, it's Goober's recipe.
It looks delicious.
Yeah.
Smells good. So you go around. We can sit on the porch.
I got to go hike my leg on one of your trees. That's all we got from the kitchen studio of All American Show Productions. Until next time, this is beautiful Bradley Bolton saying so long from the Sunshine State.